Not your call, but I'm in the middle of a show. What can I do for you? Oh, okay. What do you want to ask me? There are a lot of deadbeat dads, yeah. There are deadbeat dads that don't pay child support. Yeah, I know.
You want me to give you a break?
No, thank you.
There's a plant thing for you to plant.
Okay, great.
I need the container.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Well, sometimes David takes calls from you, Patrick.
Okay, good question. Okay,
So
I'll answer
you
those
could
online for you.
call
Okay.
if you'd like.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, we had a question from a person on our show about how we're going to get deadbeat dads to pay their fees. And, you've talked about a way in which dads can sign off or on to visitation.
Yes, I believe
optional visitation.
that fathers should be able to say. So one of the things I heard that they do in Maine is they actually, when women try to apply for welfare and say that they're a single mother, they actually take a paternity test and ask the woman, well, who's the father of your child? And then they actually track down the fathers and then say that they owe child support. Well, that's fine, except I also believe that people should be able to opt out of, in a way. I mean, I believe that they should say, I don't want any parental privileges. And so basically, just like when people go and give their children up for adoption, they give up all of their parental rights.
Yeah, there you have it. So, that obviously doesn't help kids from deadbeat dads at all. So I'm not really solving the question with that idea,
But one of the things with deadbeat dads is that they can track them and garnish their wages, and they can track them if that's one thing, is the woman applies for child support.
That's right.
And then also basically they have to and this is already the case, I believe, is that they can garnish the wages of any fathers, so they would have to be forced, if they didn't want if they were working legally over the table, they would have their wages garnished. If they choose not to work, there's not a lot that you can do.
Now, there are currently federal funds going out right now. There's payments for children, for child care and development. There's block grants of $1.2 billion over the whole year. We have $1.2 billion. We'll keep that. So we'll use that portion to draw on to pay for the parents that sign off on parental rights.
That's nothing compared to the $3.6 billion that they're spending on
CPS,
foster care and adoption assistance.
Yeah.
I understand that about and then the Child and Family Services is $5 million.
Yeah,
and
so
that's on top of the temporary assistance to needy families, which is another $7.5 million.
Well, I'm not going to completely slash $25 billion there per year.
I'm not saying
no,
that.
I was saying that earlier, but I will cut and line item veto certain aspects because I think CPS needs to be taken down. I think the whole network is failing. And now what I'm proposing is an alternative to the foster care system, which is to actually get kids a modern-day orphanage opportunity where they can live in a modern-day orphanage that is completely designed to enhance their individuality and self-importance and freedom. We would have a lake or a pond next to every facility that would be a modernized orphanage. We'd have motion detectors in every cubicle so that only one kid would be allowed in the cubicle, ever. No video cameras up on the cubicle itself, but only one kid per cubicle. So that would keep two people from getting in there and doing bad things. We'd also have videotape monitoring the group activities, so all of it would be monitored. Right now, the foster care system is not monitored at all. Thank you, Sarah. So what we want to do is essentially begin a process where we pick up where the foster care is falling apart. And a lot of foster care parents are profiting big time off the system, which we could divert funds to create modern day orphanages for kids that would be very in tune and linked to the Big Brother, Big Sister organization. This is an idea. But this is a way of dealing with the wasteful spending on CPS. Now, I told you earlier that CPS gives out $4,500 per kid to be pulled out of their home and sent in foster care or placed with an adopted parent. In some states like Ohio, it's even worse. It's like $30,000 they get. CPS does. It's like a bonus. And this has been going on since Bill Clinton. So we've got to change this whole process. It's becoming an incentive for CPS to yank a kid out. And when I tell you about 1,000 kids a year being tortured and dying in a network we call CPS, Child Protective Services, that's just crazy. And you're right, Monkey Times has a good point. Orphanages would not be necessary if adoption process was given more money. I agree. And making sure that we find more adopted parents. That's a good idea. Now, another question came in about what kind of plans to get people an education who are currently facing, what, a 2-year cost of an AA is, what, $50,000? A 4-year education in a top university is about $200,000. I'm putting together a plan to do, thank you, DJ Bad Boy. I'm putting a plan together to create a 6-week to 6-month certification plan, a private-public partnership, so that businesses in your area that are hiring or would hire could provide a basic education format for certification, and you would go in and within 6 weeks to 6 months, you could easily train and fill that job, and that job would pay $20 an hour. You could get an education in a job. Good point, Europe Hunter. Right. So and this could also include an internship. Part of the certification process is you start working right away and you get certified. 6 weeks, you're certified and you have that job for as long as you want it. Great idea, yeah. Kind of, jumpstart. Start running immediately. Great idea, yeah. So work-study programs, getting more interns out there that will actually, receive a quick education. Because I think the biggest obstacle for young people today is lack of funds, skyrocketing tuition, and absolutely no way of finishing 2 years or 4-year program because the financial cost is too great. Okay, I'm changing my focus anytime, Patrick, but remember, you're not in charge of the chat room. I am. Nice try, though. Patrick's new here.
It's a potato.
It's a potato plant. Look at that. Yeah, so this is the plant that you had?
Yeah, I need a container though.
Yeah. Get those. I've got a container. It's sitting right outside. I'll plant it right away. I'll do that. I'm going to take a break and plant this wonderful potato plant that Sarah brought in. I've got about 6 planters filled with topsoil, and I'm growing potatoes in them. You can do those in barrels right off your balcony if you're in an apartment. I've heard
really
people.
Cool because
yeah.
when you dump it out, then you've got your potatoes. It's easier to harvest them that way, I think.
Yeah. I've heard people do this off the balconies, and they get like 24 potatoes per large, barrel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard something like that.
And, once we legalize marijuana, which is a big part of my plan, we will have the ability to immediately start seeing small businesses grow in this country. The growth of small business is essential to jobs. 60% of all jobs come from small business. And we know that, historically speaking. So we definitely have to increase that opportunity. And I think legalization of marijuana is one of the best things going for a third party. We truly embrace the idea. And Sarah's never smoked marijuana in her life. But she doesn't want anyone to not be able to do what they want to do.
Sorry, Patrick, I didn't see all your questions.
It's the no harm, no foul kind of thing. It doesn't hurt anybody. Marijuana is non-addictive physically. She's never going to smoke marijuana, but it's not physically addictive. So, I'll be back. I'll take care of that plant. I'm working on responding to all the chat I can. Yeah. This is not
Go
no.
down. Maybe he asked.
Patrick,
Okay, he's going to type them in